Okay, now can you hear me? Let me know something so I know. Okay, it says in stream, so I think I hit the right button. Good. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm glad to see everybody. Welcome, Susan. Welcome, Dwight. Welcome, Kimberly. Y'all, I'm so glad. I'm thankful for Dwight. I want to say it publicly. I'll probably say it 100 million trillion times. I'm so thankful for Dwight, who has helped me out, just trying to make me look good with my ugly self. you know, and everything. Thank you, Susan. And I just, this is my second time doing this. So welcome to the second edition of The Long Run with Piano Man. I'm just glad to be here. I said this a couple of minutes ago. I know I'm going up against the presidential election of Donald J. Trump. I understand that and everything, but I wanted to come on at this time uh, just to see how everybody was doing and get on schedule. Now, the blessed thing about this, we all know for those of us that live in the South, there's this snowstorm, if you will, coming through, the likes of which I haven't seen since I left my home state of West Virginia. But anyway, they're predicting that right here where I am, we can get anywhere from 2 to 4 inches of snow. So with that being said, they've already scheduled our school days of being out. So I will not have to report tentatively right now. I will not have to report back to work until Thursday. Okay. So with that being said, ladies and gents, boys and girls, people, peepettes, all that kind of stuff, saints, ain'ts, and friends, Piano Man will be live today, tomorrow, and Wednesday, and possibly Wednesday. I will let you know more about that tomorrow. So we will be live today and tomorrow, and we're going to be working out more kinks and this, that, and the third. So you'll be stuck with Piano Man for a couple of days, all right? And so I'm glad to do it. I'm glad to be on. We're going to present the best content that we can and everything. We know that not only is the inauguration today, but we have the college football uh, playoff championship between Ohio's God, Ohio State and Notre Dame. It makes me sick just to call their name because Alabama's not in it. Alabama's not in it. I just can't bring myself to say those two teams. I just can't do it. I cannot do it. Good morning, Carla, my sister. Good morning. Um, good morning, Carla. I'm gonna tell you this. In my family, Carla and Susan helps keep Piano Man together. You know, they're godsends, and I love them so much. I love my family, uh, my bonus family, and I have to, you know, I have to give my bonus family props every time that I come on the air, and I kind of get, I'm not gonna tear up. I'm gonna be strong about this. But when I talk about my bonus family, man, Susan, Carla, OG Gill, JB, Bino, Gary, Dwight, the KT, man, my heart just bubbles with joy. Kimberly too. I love my family. I love my bonus family. And it's because of them that Piano Man exists. I don't take no credit. I give all glory to God, but God puts people in your lives to make difference. And it's best to embrace what God has done And man, I'm so appreciative to my bonus family, man. And I'm gonna tell you what, uh, and our nickname, our theme is keeping it a book, and that's why I named this "Keeping It a Buck." That we just gonna keep it real with you. And if you ain't right, we're gonna tell you you're not right, but we're gonna love you right on. We're not gonna disrespect you and everything, but we just gonna keep it a buck with you. It is what it is, and that's what my bonus family has helped me to understand. And so, Kimberly, I know. You know what? Let me talk about my little sissy for a minute, Kimberly. Kimberly's the only person I know who loves her. She really loves her off days, but she also likes her work days pretty good too. So shout out to my sissy Kimberly. Kimberly, you are loved. You piano man's heart. Okay. So, I might not get a chance to talk to you as much, but I want you to hear me say that you are family, and that's never gonna change. So, and Carla, y'all already know what's up. Hey, that go my boy Dwight, and that go man, look here. One of these days, wait, I'm gonna have to bring. Let me see something here. I'm getting ready to do something right quick. Let me see if I can add him to the stage right quick. Hey, what's up, bro? Let me see if I can. I added Dwight to the stage there. Do I need to? I need to unmute it. All right. Okay. Okay. Got you, Dwight. Well, I brought Dwight to the stage because I need to introduce this guy. I got to introduce this guy. This dude here keeps me grounded, just like Susan and Carla and KT. The girls keep me grounded, but this dude here keeps me grounded too. This is my producer, y'all. This is Dwight. I made him my producer. He didn't have much say in it. He didn't have much say in it. I made him that. He was gonna be that because I'm a dictator. No, I'm not a dictator. But no, I appreciate Dwight. That's my dude. Yes, Susan, you're right. Dwight is the man, Dwight. And I'm gonna tell you this, and I'm gonna say this publicly. I am trying to encourage he and my little brother Gary to do their own shows as well. I'm encouraging, but I also understand that you only do this when you're comfortable. And so that's how that's running. So I want Dwight to know, man, I add you to the stage because I'm proud of you, bro. And Big Brother love you, and Big Brother needs you. I need you because I'm kind of loose upstairs. That's my brother. That's my brother. So let's hop to it. Let's hop to it. But before we hey KT, I ain't mean not that. Forgive me, America, but KT and when you got KT and Carla and Susan and Kimberly on at the same time, it make you kind of do that right there because they be bringing it, man. They be bringing it. Them my girls there. Them my girls there. I love them. But before we hop to this thing called a championship game, I want to show you something. Yeah, here we go. I'm pretty sure, and Dwight, this is something we all going to discuss here in a little bit. On probably off camera, whatever, and then we'll bring it on camera when it's time. But I'm pretty sure that when we talk about sports and especially college football and things like that, we talk about there is this entity out there called On Three, and we what's up? I got to do this. I got to do this. Thank you, Gary, my little bro, my little bro. Gary keeps it real too, y'all. He keep it a buck. This is the keeping it a buck crew. So I'm telling you now, uh, we keep it a buck over here. So here we go. Um, on three is this sports entity, this sports booking or whatever you want to call it, and they deal with all aspects of sports, especially college football, college basketball, things like that. Well, since we're at the verge of the end of our college football season of this year, and we see that it's going to either be Notre Dame or Ohio State. that's going to win the championship. I just got sick on the stomach. I need some Pepto Bismol for just bringing those two names up. But On Three has already launched a way too early college football top 25 for the 25-26 season. They call it the way too early because the season has not officially ended. And so they still have this going, but they've launched a way too early top 25. And right quick, I want to go through it. So I'm going to start at number 25 and work my way to number one. Okay. So I am, Susan, I promise you, you know what? Let me do this right. And I'm going to give Dwight his wrench. I am. Uh, I've got to get on YouTube and do it. Right now, I'm not on YouTube right now, but I'm going to do that. I promise you I will. And so uh, here we go. But back to what I was talking about. I want to start at 25 and work my way to one, and then we're going to go into the college football playoffs. Okay, here we go. Number 25 for the way too early top 25. Number 25 is Nebraska. Number 24 is Georgia Tech. Number 23 is Indiana. Number 22 is SMU. Anybody notice a pattern that you've got Indiana and SMU and Miami at 21? Way too early, as said, Nebraska's 25th. Georgia Tech is 24th. Indiana is 23rd. SMU is 22nd. And Miami is 21st. Have anybody caught the pattern? Hold up, Kimberly. Don't steal it yet. Don't steal it yet. We going to get there in just a minute. Anybody notice that the ACC, you had SMU and Indiana in the playoffs just this year, and they are ranked at the very bottom? Thank you, KT. Thank you. Ding, 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 ding. They made the playoffs, and they have them picked already at the bottom of the list. Indiana, SMU. Miami didn't even get in. You see what I'm saying? This is what they think of these some of these playoff teams. This is so we stopped in Miami. You got Kansas State number 20, Texas A&M number 19, Oklahoma number 18. Two SEC teams down toward the bottom. Think about it. Think about it. Okay. 18, 19, Arizona State 17, BYU is 16, LSU is 15th. And watch this. Thank you, Kimberly. Alabama's number 14. Bama's 14th. Tennessee is 13th. Now let's run that into perspective again. LSU is 15th. Bama is 14th. And Tennessee is 13th. Are you kidding me? But that's on three for you. That's on three. I'm going to come back to that in just a minute. Tennessee's 13th. Michigan is 12th. Auburn is 11th. KT, I'm going to deal with your statement in just a minute. Clemson is 10th. Florida is 9th. South Carolina 8th. Illinois is 7th. Georgia is 6th. Notre Dame is 5th. Penn State is 4th. Oregon is 3rd. Y'all know who that is, the second. and Texas is first. Do y'all see that? Thank you, KT. How? How? Let me tell y'all something. This is just one man's little simple, unsolicited opinion. Yes, Susan, you heard me right. Auburn, Barney is 11th. Bama is 14th. Bama is 14th. Let's back up. LSU is 15th. Bama is 14th. Tennessee is 13th. Michigan is 12th. And Barney is 11th. For those that don't know who Barney is, they're better known as Auburn. Barney. I feel about them about like I feel about team, whose name I just refuse to say. I don't like them. I just don't. Yes, Carla, ding, ding, ding. They're on crack, laced with something. On three, I don't see how in the world Illinois ranked 7th. But I want to show you this. Here's the seriousness of this. And here's sort of the reality. The Big Ten has sort of sneaked back in there and has become the dominant, whereas the SEC has more or less, according to On3, has taken a back seat. Illinois made a bowl. They did. They made a bowl. Yes, Susan, I believe the whole list is bull. But it goes to show you, I'm about to say something. Here is where the power, and I used to didn't think it existed, but I see it now. This is the power of one man, Coach Nick Saban. I heard something the other day, and it is so true. Nick Saban, just his presence made everybody around him better. What do I mean by around him? Other teams. Look what other teams begin to do because they wanted to beat Saban. In the midst of all of that, they became better. The moment that Coach Saban retired, yes, a lot of them maintained their status of being big, being this, that, and the third, sure. But may I tell you something? It also began to dwindle a little bit. Let me give you a good example. Anybody ever paid attention to Georgia? When Georgia won that second championship, everybody thought that the dynasty had switched to Georgia. And I kept telling folks, nope, Georgia will not be the dynasty. Bama will become the dynasty again before Georgia will. Who was right? Piano Man was. Being honest with you. Why am I saying this? Because what happened the very next year? Alabama beat Georgia again in the SEC championship game. And can I tell you something else? And the moment that Alabama beat them, did Georgia make the playoff picture? No, they didn't. They did not make the playoffs. Georgia made it this year and got bounced the first round. See, I saw the decline in Georgia the year after championship number 2. I saw the decline in Georgia. If you really want to know the truth about it, I saw the decline in Georgia when they won the second national championship. You're playing TCU, man. Now that's not to undermine what they did, and that's not to put them down. But I will tell you this much: Georgia really was not dominant. Georgia's schedule favored them. They were playing in a weak SEC East division where the majority of the top 25, if it was for as far as the SEC was concerned, they came out of the West. Bama, Ole Miss, Texas A&M, um, Bama, Ole Miss, Texas A&M, and it was one more. It was for LSU. Mhm. 4 teams came out of the West that were winning. They beat up on each other. Georgia had nobody to beat up on them. Now, and if you don't agree with me, you can put it in the comment, or even if you do agree, you can put it in the comment, because over here you're free to speak your mind. We just gonna keep it a buck with you as we know, but you're free to speak your mind, and you're not gonna be called fair weather or any of that other stuff. You're free to speak your mind. But Georgia benefited from an easy schedule. That's the bottom line. The moment that the SEC went into the format that they did, Georgia became a two-loss team, just like I told y'all back in the gap. Georgia was going to lose 2 games, just like I felt like Bama was going to lose 2 games. I felt like it. I felt like Bama would lose 2 games. We ended up losing 4. But the point that I'm making is that this is what some of our college football writers are thinking of, not just Alabama, but of the SEC, that Texas is going to overtake everybody because now you have Georgia at 6th. You have Georgia at 6th. But they're forgetting Georgia plays Bama this year. And they're predicting that Georgia will beat Bama like they've been predicting. Well, if you go back and you look at all of the times that Alabama has played Georgia, go back and see how many times Georgia was picked to beat them. Go back and look at how many times that Georgia was picked to beat Alabama. Majority of the time, Georgia was picked to beat them in all those games, and Bama beat them. One year, Bama beat them so bad until it was almost like that LSU game, and Bama beat them in Athens in the rain, and folks started going home. Bama emptied the stadium. I'm just saying. Yes, Susan. Yes, Susan. Bama's schedule is hard again next year. We're playing the same teams that we played this year. Last year, we're playing them again this year. You're playing them 2 years in a row. The only difference is this time Tennessee comes to Alabama. We go to Georgia. Yes, KT, exactly, dear. We've got some tough away games. We go to South Carolina. We go to Georgia. We go to Auburn. We go to them this year. I know it's way too early to talk about it, but I just decided to do it the day before I get off into this national championship game. I fear more for injuries again than I do the schedule. I have some reasons for saying it. I really fear for injuries than I do the schedule. Label me as a dreamer, label me delusional, call me what you will. But let Piano Man tell you something. Our defense, we're returning 8 starters. 8 starters. 8 of them. And of the 8 starters that are coming back, you got that right, Kimberly. I'm with Kimberly on that. Bet not lose. And the away games either. We bet not lose. I'm not going to get off into all of that today, but it's way too early. But at this juncture, I fear injuries more than I do the schedule. What I was about to say is we have 8 starters on defense returning. Of those 8 starters, the 8 starters that are coming back are parts of the defense that was the most important that sort of hurt us last year. You got LT Overton coming back, Deontay Lawson coming back. Then you got Keon Sapp coming back. Okay. But what you're adding to the mix is this year, Deshaun Jones. I don't have them all listed here, so I'm just kind of doing this off the top of my head. Deshaun Jones, Damani Jackson, and Bray Hubbard. Somebody tell me that defensive backfield won't be fire. I'm with you, Susan. I'm not, yeah, exactly, Dwight. And I'm not worried about, I haven't forgotten Sapp, Keon Sapp, Damani Jackson, Bray Hubbard, Deshaun Jones. It's one more. Um, uh, I look for Mbakwe to go both ways. Brown, exactly. Brown. I look for all the Bama's gonna be straight defensively. I'm with Susan, not too worried about the defense. We got the dudes on offense, but the quarterback is unsure. Can I tell you something? And then we're gonna move on to something that we're gonna transition into something else right quick. Can I tell you something? Part of the reason Alabama is ranked 14th is because of Susan, the last part of Susan's statement. That's all that's wrong. The quarterback. The quarterback. That's all that's wrong, Susan. The last part of your statement, we got the dudes on offense, but quarterback unsure. That statement needs to be highlighted. I'm being honest with you. That's the biggest reason Alabama is ranked in this way too early thing. Because here's the kick. And Dwight, help me out right there. You ain't got to look this up or nothing, but either yes or no. How can you be so sure about Georgia and their quarterback left? And now you got to start with Gunnar Stockman. I think that's his name, Stockman. And Georgia lost their quarterback. And then and we all know Georgia lost their bowl game. So how can you rank Bama so far down when Georgia is in the same boat? You think so, KT? You think so? You really think Russell will be QB1? It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting, KT. It's going to be interesting. I'm with you. Dwight, I got you. I'm not sure about that first year thing, but KT, your statement needs to be highlighted too. You don't want to lose a top recruit in the nation. You can't afford it. We can't afford it. Now, Can we just talk about this for a few more minutes? And I promise we'll get to the national championship game. But can we just talk about this a few more minutes? And I promise we'll talk about the national championship. Because both KT and Dwight bring up an interesting point. Here's the point. Oh, yes, Susan, that Bama hate is all day. It ain't all day. It's continual 24/7. It never stops. Anybody notice they talk more about the decline in Alabama than they have this national championship? If I were in Notre Dame, I would cry injustice because nobody's talking about them. Nobody's talking about them. It's almost like we don't even have a national championship game. KT, they right over there by your house in Atlanta, Georgia, and hardly anybody's even talking about it. That's how bad. Oh man, look who had. Oh man, Coach Sean. That's my brother, man. Now, man, me and Coach Sean are brothers in more ways than one. Coach Sean, thank you for stopping by, man. The the next time, the next time, bro, we got to get you on live so we can talk about this because we talking some interesting stuff about this way too early top 25 foolishness that On3 has going. But check this out. But I got to thank Coach Sean. Coach Sean has been. Let me stop right here and give him his due, man. Coach Sean is part of the reason why Piano Man's here too. My family and Coach Sean encouraging me to do this. And I'm not good at words all the time. And sometimes my words get lost in my brain and get stuck. But man, thank you, Coach Sean. My second episode live. But my third one, bro, you got to be here because we got to talk smack, man. We got to talk smack. And you know how everybody feels about you, Coach Sean. Everybody loves Coach Sean. Everybody loves Coach Sean. You know, ain't no ifs, ands, and buts, man. Everybody loves Coach Sean. So, man, thank you, Coach. Now, but how can Georgia say they On3 say that Georgia is going to be the sixth best team in the nation, and they're steadily losing players too, as if they just gonna plug in here, plug in there, and they lost to Notre Dame. Now I know we see that game differently, but the fact of the business is Georgia lost, just like Alabama did. So the only difference between Georgia and Alabama is one game. One game. One game. I'm telling you, Georgia lost 3 games. 3 games. And I'm telling you one more time. I've been saying it for the last couple of years. Georgia was easily a 2-loss team the year that they had to bet to Bowers touchdown pass, and Auburn would have beat them. Alabama did beat them, and Missouri came close to beating them. So this 3-loss thing that's going on with Georgia, they've been flirting with that for a couple of years, and it finally caught up with them. Just being honest with you. But Bama's ranked 14th in the way too early. This is why you play the game on the field, folks. Because if On3 let On3 tell it, Bama's dead in the water. So I'm just saying that this is where we got a lot of stuff going on right here. So this spring is going to be interesting. So here's what I'm here's Bama's schedule. In this top 25, I got it listed right here. We go to Athens. We go to Columbia. We go to Auburn. Tennessee comes to us. LSU comes to us. Oklahoma comes to us. Okay. But now let me go back through this again. Number 25 was Nebraska. Number 24 was Georgia Tech. 23 Indiana. 22 SMU. 21 Miami. 20 Kansas State. Texas A&M is 19th. Oklahoma's 18th. Arizona State 17th. 16th is BYU. 15th LSU. 14th is Bama. 13th is Tennessee. 12th is Michigan. 11th is Barney. 10th is Clemson. 9th is Florida. And if you all remember right, Florida had the hardest schedule in the nation. And they took the same Georgia team to the brink. And the only reason Georgia beat them is because Lagway got hurt. Think about that for a minute. Think about it for a minute. They came close to beating Georgia too. So sit down and think about it for a minute. Bama beat them. Ole Miss beat them. Notre Dame beat them. And Florida almost beat them. So you know what? If Florida had beat them, Alabama and Georgia would have been looking at the same record, one game. So I'm going back. So Florida's ninth, South Carolina eighth, Illinois seventh, UGA sixth, Notre Dame fifth, Penn State fourth, Oregon third is second, and Texas is number one. Have anybody noticed who's missing out that top 25? Have anybody noticed? I'm gonna play the Jeopardy thing. Notice there's no Vanderbilt. Where's Vanderbilt? I'm just saying. That's how much they think of Alabama. They didn't even put Vandy in the mix. You put Oklahoma there. You put Michigan there. Oh, wait a minute. Guess who else not there? You see what I'm saying? So I'm going back to what Susan said, but I'm going to make it a little bit broader. She said that the Alabama hate is real, is all day. Let me take it one step further. The SEC hate is evident. Is evident. Excuse me. Ole Miss beat Georgia fair and square. You're going to leave Ole Miss? I'm going back through my list again. Ole Miss is not even listed because I'm about to tell you something else about Ole Miss. What today's date? January the 20th, 2025. Mark this day on your calendar and say, Piano Man said it first. I ain't into that first thing, but you heard it from Piano Man. I don't give a who say stuff first. I'm not that vain. Okay, so here we go. Just say Piano Man said it. Why if Jackson Dart does not come back, watch the quarterback that Ole Miss has. Pay strict attention to that guy. I'll get his name here when we get to talking about it. That dude is the business. Now let me tell you how I remember, how I know. Excuse me, y'all. Boy, look here. Boy, this Alabama Cup sure make things taste good. Mm-hmm. Yes, it does. When Georgia and LSU, excuse me, when Georgia and Ole Miss were playing, y'all remember when Jackson Dart got hurt and they bought this their backup quarterback in. Newsflash, Georgia. He was the one who led them to their first touchdown. It wasn't Jackson Dart. It was the backup. Alabama, excuse me, I got Bama on the brain. Georgia basically had no shot to win that game. Not with their back, not with Ole Miss's backup playing the way that he was playing. That dude is bad. Watch Ole Miss quarterback next year. I'm telling you, on three is going to have to change their perspective. Why didn't you list Vandy and Pavia is coming back? It goes to show you not just the Bama hate is real, but the SEC hate is there. Because why? They're trying to ease the Big Ten back in there. Can I tell you something else? I'm going to step out of the SEC. I'm going to step out of the Big Ten. I'm going to go to the Big 12 for a minute. Where's Colorado? Colorado will not be a bad team just because Travis Hunter and Shedeur Sanders is gone. That transfer portal, Colorado is burning up the paper, y'all. Pay attention. They're going to be better than what people give them credit for. They got a guy over there. They've got this other receiver, and I believe he's either going to be I think he's going to be a junior this year. His name is Omarion Miller. Remember that name. Remember him. Remember that name. I'm telling you, a lot of these teams that some of these sports personalities and writers and journalists and content creators have left off in January of 2025, they will be writing about them come September of the said year. Piano Man has spoken. I'm telling you now. So I end this particular segment this wise. It's just like what they said. It's way too early. It's way too early. But my brothers and my sisters of Sportsville, I want to tell you this. There will be some surprises this upcoming year. Yeah, there'll be some surprises. Trust me, gonna be some surprises. And I'm of the firm belief. And Kimberly, you know what? I'm of the firm belief. I'm with you. I'm more excited about the Alabama spring game because that's where I was getting off into. This makes me so much more excited about the Alabama spring game because it's clouded, especially offensively, with mystery. Ty Simpson, Austin Mack, Keelan Russell are all three on campus right now. All three. All three QBs on campus. Now, I hope Coach Sean don't mind me saying this, but he hit me to something in a conversation that he and I were having. People were calling for Jalen's head and to replace Jalen and put Ty in. But Coach Sean, being not just a player, former player like me, but Coach Sean also coached at a higher level. Coach Sean made the statement to me. He said, Piano Man, you don't just put backup in because of the sake of putting the backup in. His exact words were, is when he can outplay the starter and can do what the starter's doing in practice. I think he said with the starting offense or against the first team defense. That's how a backup gets to become a starter in the college game. Apparently, Ty Simpson, and if anybody's watching it live or if they're watching it this in recording, apparently Ty did not have what it took. He didn't have what it took to beat out Jalen. Once I thought about what Coach Sean said, I said, there's your problem. But now that Jalen is gone, and I want to say this on this show, Piano Man, it's okay to speak your mind, but now, when this college football season ends tonight, all of the Jalen Milroe talk now is basically off the table because the college year is over. College football year is over. Jalen is gone. Jalen is no more. He's had his time. He won some games. He lost some games. And for those that are the haters, I'm going to say this: he won. Remember that he won more than he lost. Okay, so we got to look at it like that. But now, as of 1/20/25 at 11:53 a.m. Central Standard Time, Alabama has a quarterback war. And I can't wait until A-Day, the Lord willing. And as they say, the Lord willing, the creek don't rise. I can't wait to see it. And I hope and I pray that some of you that are watching, or all of you that are watching, and if you're close by and you're able to come to A-Day, let's link up and let's watch it together. Let's see what we can see. But I'm looking forward to the quarterback battle. I'm looking forward to Austin, Keelan, and Ty. Not necessarily in that order, it's just how it came out. But we're going to see if Ty going to be the man. We're going to see. Now, me personally, who everybody sleep on is Austin May. And I know I'm just basing it on one pass, but when he threw that bad boy to Rico Scott and put it right there in the bucket, he had me sold right then and there. Now, the one thing about it, and we're through with this, all three of these quarterbacks are not the athlete that Milroe was. They're a different breed of quarterback. But in my opinion, it fits the Kalen DeBoer system better. So we're having we're in for an unprecedented time. We're going to see a real live quarterback battle, and probably tomorrow. We'll talk about the post game of the national championship between and Notre Dame. I'm doing that because they make me sick. And if Ebony was watching, she knows how I feel about them. She knows Ebony and I are pretty cool, but she knows I do not like Ohio State. And believe it or not, my mom is a graduate, Coach Sean. I think you'll be proud of this. And I think I told you this, but for those of you that don't know, my mom is a graduate of Stillman University in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. She received her bachelor's of nursing at Stillman. But my mom did postgraduate work at Ohio State and Harvard Med School. My mom was real smart. I don't know where she got me from because I ain't gonna say I'm dumb, but I ain't smart as my mama. As my mama was, God rest her. But my mom loved Ohio State. I think that's why we didn't get along too good. I'm an Alabama fan. You can't bring that foolishness to me. But my mom did postgraduate work. I think she did some master's work uh, at Ohio State, and she loved them. I don't know. I think she drank that Kool-Aid they be drinking up there. But anyway, Um, but um, that's where she went. And but I still don't like her. But after tonight, whomever wins, we talk about that tomorrow. But for the next few minutes, transitioning away from the way too early, let's talk about tonight's game right quick before we leave. I'm not going to be on here too much longer because, like we said, we're preparing for this storm. I got to go out here and feed my deer. Go pull my trail cam and everything. I want to see if the deer are going to come in the snow, this go rip and all that kind of stuff and everything. So, piano man, I love football. I love to fish. I love to hunt. I love sports. I was talking to someone this morning. Uh, I've already spoken with JB, and as we get closer to baseball season, we're going to have a baseball segment. And JB, I hope he still does it. I hope he hadn't forgotten me. I told him I wanted him to kind of talk about baseball season and up and coming. So we want to be a channel that we're not going to just talk about Alabama football, but we're going to talk about sports in general. And so, but we have the college football playoffs coming up tonight with Ohio State. Gives me heartburn when I say that name versus Notre Dame. That gives me a headache when I say that name. As you can tell, and I've said this with Coach Sean and some of the other fellas when I'm on with them, I don't care who wins. I really don't care. I don't care. But put in the chat for those of you that is, that's here. Uh, who you got tonight? You have Ohio State or do you have Notre Dame? What you got? And here real soon, we're going to be probably doing some live calls and this, that, and the third, and just trying to make it happen. And I just want everybody to know that I just want everybody to know that feel free to speak your mind, speak your piece. Me personally, I would love to see, uh, I would love to see uh, Notre Dame win. I don't even want to see uh, Ohio State win a food fight. I don't want to see them win nothing. But I just have the feeling that um, Ohio State is going to win the game. Not sure about the score. Um, I gave some answer, I think, a couple of weeks ago when I was with B Sharp on his show. I think I said 38-21, something to that effect. I think that Ohio State's defense is going to be the difference in the game. Um, Not sure. We know that Jeremiah Smith from Ohio State did not have the best game uh, when they played against Texas. They did not have the he did not have the best game, and I think they kind of isolated him a little bit. But I will say this much and give them their props and so forth and so on. Uh, Ohio State's defense down the stretch was the reason that they won the game against Texas. Texas did some dumb things down the stretch. I believe that Notre Dame will not make those mistakes, but I believe that the team of uh, of Notre Dame won't be able to play roster for roster against Ohio State. That's what I believe. I believe that the depth of Ohio State is going to be the difference maker. The depth and the defense will be the difference maker in why Ohio State wins this game. That's what I believe. That's my theory. That's that's Piano Man's theory. Kimberly says, I hope Alabama beat Auburn and away games too. I do too, Kimberly. As far as this game goes tonight, I think Ohio State takes it. I'm still going to stick with my 38-21 score. It pains me to say that, but I'm going to stick with 38-21. I think it will be close uh, early, but I think that Ohio State pulls away late. That's what I believe. That's my thing. Um, that's me. That's what I believe. So, what y'all think? I don't see my chat lighting up, but that's okay. That's cool. Um, but game is going to be interesting. I'll probably watch some of it. Nah, let me quit lying. I'm gonna probably watch all of it. Have my little dinner ready, and like I said, I got to get out here and do some things out there in the field with the getting my get my deer stuff ready, and I want to see if they're gonna come, if they're gonna eat, um, come and eat early or however that goes. I'm just kind of watching to see how they're gonna play this thing with the snow and all that kind of stuff. So it's gonna be interesting tonight. But like I said, I'll be back on the Lord willing. I will be back on tomorrow and making it happen one more time. And everything. When I'm off for days like this from school, it makes it feel like that I'm off for Christmas holidays again. It has that Christmas and spring break feel to it because I don't go back to work until Thursday. So you'll be stuck with me Monday, well, which is today, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So we're gonna try to make it happen. Okay, try to make it happen. And so but hopefully Notre Dame, but I think Ohio State's going to get them 27-24. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Susan. I can take that. I can live with that. I can live with that. I can live with that. 27-24, Ohio State. That's what Susan said. Okay. I can live with that. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. I can see that, Susan. I can see that. Anybody else? You know. Um, I love to hear Coach Sean break these games down. It make me want to go back and be a coach again, but I'm too old for that now, man. I'm old school. I am old school. I'm from the old school of thought. Uh, some of these guys, they softer than a cotton ball. They soft. But I love to hear Coach Sean break that down. So anyway, but I'm sorry that I took up a lot of time talking about this way too early. Um, Carla says, I want a Notre Dame upset. And that's all I'm. Sis, I am with you. I'm with you, sis. I want a Notre Dame upset. Yes, I do. Uh, I really do. But I'm not gonna just keep it like that. I uh I just think, you know, Susan, if I were coach, I'm telling you, that's what would happen. That's what would happen. They crying, parents want to sue, and when I get through with them parents, they be crying too. They would be crying. Listen, I'm a 70s guy. I'm a 70s guy. We were tough. I came from a neighborhood in West Virginia. You had to fight. You had to learn to fight. You had to learn some stuff. I grew up in a place in West Virginia called the Hill. You had to fight. If you didn't if you anyway, I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm not gonna say that. I'm trying to get better as I age, but you know, you're right. They won't last. I would make these guys gather around a thing called a bull ring. And what the bull ring was, you better memorize where everybody was. Because if I called your name, if I called their name, the guy that's in the center of the ring, he has to be able to react and block, tackle, block, whatever. And I remember one time I was in the bull ring, and there was about 8 guys in that bull ring. And when my coach told me exactly what to do, there were 8 guys laying on the ground when I got through. Trust me, they were laying on the ground. Now, for those of you that's too young to remember this guy, my nickname when I was growing up was Buckus, Dick Buckus. When I hit you, you knew you were hit. You were hit. I didn't play with you. I could care less about your feelings, your mama's feelings. I didn't. When was I doing that football field? It was me and you, partner. I'm sorry, Susan. That's they didn't call me that, but I was nicknamed Buckus, and I was always looking. And that's when they always say keep your head on a swivel. You got to be able to turn your head around and around. D guys, a lot of them have no field presence. They have no presence. They don't know what's going on around them. And that's why some of these guys end up getting hurt, is because they have no presence. Just saying. So I I I I teach to either you're gonna hit or you're gonna get hit. And if you end up getting hit, it's gonna hurt. It is what it is. You were my friend afterwards, but was on that field, it was all business. So that's that. But Coach Sean be breaking that thing down, and I want him to. If he's listening, I still need that. It's a site that he was telling me about, and I want to be able to break film down as well. I want to be with him sometimes. So, Coach, put me in on that, bro. I want to be in on some of your breaking down the film and everything. I want to do that. I really do. I want to do that. So, but I'm gonna tell you this. I believe that Ohio State wins tonight. Like I said, 38-21. I believe that the defense is going to be the difference in this game. But I'm also going to say this on the Notre Dame side of things. And I did say this, and I will say it again. Ladies and gents, don't be surprised that if Notre Dame pulls a rabbit out the hat and special teams make a difference in this game. Because if Ohio State can't stop their special teams play, if they can't stop the Notre Dame special teams play, you just may get the upset. I'm just saying now. I'm just saying. And if anybody has watched the last 2 Notre Dame games, their special teams have made the difference. And that's important. Special teams are important. So if you watch the game tonight, pay strict attention to the Notre Dame special teams. Okay, Carl, I ain't gonna say nothing else after this, especially kickoff return. And that's all I got to say about that. That's all I got to say about that. Okay. So with that being said, that's gonna be about it for today. I said I wasn't gonna be on here long. Um, I got things to do, so you're not going to find me on here. Let me be quiet. I won't be on here all day. Let me just put it like that. An hour, 30 minutes to an hour, that's long enough for me until and even after we get it built up, you know, and everything, uh, still don't want to be on here a long time. You go about your day, I'm going about mine. We all have things to do, but we can always meet back here on the long run at any time, anytime. So with that being, Carla, stop. Wait a minute. In the words of Gra- in the words of Grady Wilson on Sanford and Son, let's have another drink. I want a Notre Dame upset, and that's all I'm going to say. I got you. I do too. I just don't believe it's going to happen. But if it did happen, we all know who I'm going to see. Who I'm going. If I got to go and take a flight to there and find out where they live, I'm going to knock on their door and everything. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Susan. Thank you, Carla. Great show, everybody. Hey, I'm nothing without y'all. I'd just be somebody talking to myself, putting it on record and all that kind of stuff. And one day I am going to do that too. But I love interacting with people. So please like, share, subscribe. I believe most of us already subscribe, but tell others. Piano Man is here. And now that the college football season is about to be over, uh, we're going to be really be in it full effect. And we're going to just be talking about a lot of different things. So I want you to enjoy your day. Shout out to the late, great Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Today is your day, sir. We salute you for the things that you did, not just for the Black community, but we want to thank you for the things that you did for humanity, for humanity. And thank you, Kimberly. And I love you too, Kimberly. You know, Kimberly, I always will, always have you big brother's heart, okay? And so, but thank you to Dr. Martin Luther King, to your family. And for those who keep the dream alive, we're on air today because of a man's dream, being able to, and it's called equality. So, as we say as they say in the world of algebra, what you would do with one side of the equal sign, do it on the other side as well. So the point that I'm making is equality works for everybody, not just for one sector. Equality works for everybody. So the same way you will work an algebra problem and be equal, let's be equal with everybody. We might not see things alike, but we can treat each other right and be respectful with it. And just remember, this thing ain't all about you. It's about all of us. So on that note, enjoy your Martin Luther King Day. It's not just a day of barbecue and malt liquor and whatever else you may be beveraging of your choice, but it's a day of reflection. It's a day of thanksgiving, giving thanks to God to honor a man who looked out for us all. And because of him, having a dream, having a vision. No, Martin Luther King was not perfect, and neither are you. Neither are none of us. He was a man that was flawed, but he believed in justice. He believed in equality. So as we go about the rest of our day, let's remember what he stood for and let us stand for those same things. So as he died to or let me put it like this. I end it with this. As Christ died to make men holy, let us keep living to help make men free. Bring freedom people from up under the tyranny and the dictatorship of whatever. Man, this is the 21st century. This is 2025. We ain't got no business being in bondage. But be free. Be free to be that you've been called to be. So for this moment, I just had a dream to start my own podcast. And look at me now. It's not where I want it to be, but guess what? At least I'm here. I'm here. And I'm gonna do the best I can. Okay. So hey, Kimberly, as soon as Coach Sean do the thing, I'm gonna be there with him, be sharp. The next time KB has us on, we're gonna be there too. We're gonna be everywhere. Cause let me tell you why. I'm a team player. Ain't about me. We're all trying to cheer for our team. And in whichever way that I can help lift another brother up or another sister up. Because I hope I can even appear on some of the ladies shows and who doing Alabama or whatever their content is. Hope that I can be on there too. Just help lifting somebody up. That's what Dr. King did. He was a lifter of people, not put them down and make it be all about them so everybody can, you know. So anyway, roll tide. And oh, I got to end with this. I may not see you today. I may not see you tomorrow. I may not see you anytime this week, maybe the rest of the month. But you know what? I will see you in the long run. And as always, roll tide. I'll see you tomorrow. Same time, same channel. Roll tide. Have a great day, everybody. Bye.